Hey there, Unkim here. In this video, I'm going to show you a project that is starting to take shape. And boy, oh boy, what a beautiful shape that is. The name of the game, as you probably guessed, is Archrebel Tactics. If you're into cool-looking, complex, sci-fi turn-based tactical combat games, well, this is pretty much a love story for you. We'll get into the details that we already know later on, because right now I need to take you back to 1986 when Julian Gollop created Rebelstar. Yes, you heard correctly, this is the man who is considered the father of the XCOM franchise we know and love today. This is important not only for you to understand where the inspiration for this project came from, but also what we can expect, because in the words of the developer, Archrebel is a strategy game heavily inspired by Rebelstar. If you are unfamiliar with Rebelstar, it was a strategy turn-based game where two teams dueled on a large scrollable map. The raiders, the invading team, would win if they managed to destroy Isaac computer, which was guarded by the opposing team, the operatives, who needed to defend it at all costs. Each team had about a dozen controllable units featuring human soldiers and droids. Each unit had a certain amount of action points they could spend to move, shoot and perform other actions. Sounds pretty cool. The first time I looked at this project, I knew it was a mandatory wishlist. It has all the necessary ingredients for an amazing game, and I'm not only referring to the influences, the genre or the features in it. I must also mention the solo developer, a fellow Portuguese, who is currently creating this. It's a one-man show. It's a developer, a pixel artist, sound designer and a composer. As a bonus, he's also quite active on social media, mainly Twitter, and shows off the progress of Archrebel's development. As always, I'll leave the links not only for the game, but also for the developer's Twitter in the description below this video. Now that we have an idea of where it came from, let's go over what we already know about Archrebel. It's a sci-fi, turn-based strategy war game, where the player will control various units on a grid-based map, performing actions limited by a classic action point system. If you prefer, a time unit system if you want it in XCOM terms. At the time of this recording, it has been in development for longer than a year and a demo is currently in the works. Unfortunately, there isn't any indication of when that will happen. The same goes for the release date. But let's focus on the positive points. We already have a ton of core planned features for the initial release and even some for long-term support. You might also like to know, despite being uncertain for now and most likely dependent on the game's success, that something like an online co-op or even online PvP is a possibility. The game's development plan, which can also be considered sort of a roadmap, is public on Archrebel's blog page. All this information and the current progress are updated and made available to you. Now let's finally get into the good stuff. I picked some of my favorite parts to showcase. You probably noticed one of them, and that's the sound. The music you've been listening to in the background of this video is some of the amazing tracks that will play throughout the game. And I'd argue that the sound effects are even better. Just see how it feels and how it sounds like when you throw some grenades. There's also a weather system that will make you adjust your strategy accordingly. For instance, when it's cloudy, the side range of your units will be reduced. And going back into the sound effects again, if it's stormy, you might hear some scary thunders. There's an effort in making the AI sharp to put up a good fight, and the elements within the map will take damage and are fully destructible, especially trees. There is also an inventory system implemented, and as you probably also noticed, the UI is top-notch. Everything is pixel perfect and matches the theme of the game flawlessly. Another nice example of this look and feel is the very in-depth and engaging unit leveling system that has been the development focus lately. When paired with the sound effects, it becomes so detailed and satisfying to use. I hope you now understand why I'm so excited for Archrebel Tactics. There are just so many promising things about it. The next milestone is the demo, so we will have to wait for it. But in the meantime, you can wishlist the game on Steam because that makes the developer notice the interest. This can also be in our best interest, because it means we probably can get our hands on it faster. I did my part. I'll try to keep both myself and you up to date on the latest news about this project, and as soon as I can get my hands on it, I'll showcase the gameplay. On that note, if you still haven't, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see not only that, but also to be notified when I go live so we can have a good time. Finally, if you're a big fan of the turn-based tactical combat genre like I am, make sure you're also aware of Mars Tactics, another pretty interesting upcoming game. You can see the demo gameplay right here. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye!